Hey there, Giants fans. Let's face it, this 100th season was supposed to be historic, but not for all the wrong reasons. After an offseason full of hope and high expectations, our beloved New York Giants have skidded to one of their worst records in franchise history. What went wrong? Why does it feel like the 2022 playoff magic has turned into a 2024 nightmare? Well, today, we're diving into the 5 biggest mistakes the Giants made in building this roster. From quarterback decisions to depth mismanagement and everything in between, we're unpacking how this season unraveled. But before we get into it, let me ask you, what do you think was the biggest misstep the Giants made this season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, if you're passionate about Giants news like we are, hit that subscribe button and help us reach our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. Let's keep building this community because the Giants fandom deserves better. The Giants' tumultuous 100th season. The 100th season for the New York Giants was supposed to be a celebration of the team's storied legacy. Fans had high hopes following a productive offseason and a draft that seemed poised to address glaring roster issues. But instead of triumph, the season has been marked by injuries, poor decisions, and mounting frustration among fans. Schoen and Daboll, the duo that led the Giants to a surprising playoff berth in 2022, now find themselves at the center of a whirlwind of criticism. Their decisions both on and off the field have not only derailed the Giants' progress, but also put their tenure in jeopardy. With a league-worst record and an increasingly disgruntled fan base, the Giants' front office faces tough questions about the future. In this video, we'll break down the 5 most significant mistakes made in constructing this roster. From questionable quarterback contracts to lackluster depth in key positions, these errors have shaped one of the most disappointing seasons in recent memory. Stick with us as we dissect where it all went wrong and what it means for the future of Giants football. The quarterback conundrum. The Giants' quarterback situation is perhaps the most glaring misstep of this regime. After Daniel Jones' impressive 2022 season, the front office rewarded him with a hefty 4-year, $160 million contract. On paper, it seemed like a fair reward for a player who led the team to a playoff berth. However, the decision to decline his 5th-year option, which would have provided more flexibility, proved costly. When Jones struggled early this season, the Giants were left with an expensive mistake and little room to maneuver. Adding to the woes, the Giants failed to secure competent backup quarterbacks. With Jones benched midseason, the team cycled through 3 replacements, each performing worse than the last. The lack of foresight in drafting or signing a reliable backup compounded the team's offensive struggles. Attempts to move up in the draft for a quarterback like Drake May fell through, leaving the Giants' future at the position uncertain. Now the Giants are staring down another draft with hopes of landing a franchise quarterback. Names like Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward are already being discussed. But this time, the pressure is immense. If the front office survives this offseason, their next quarterback decision could make or break their tenure. Fans are left wondering, how did it get this bad so quickly? The Saquon Barkley fallout. Saquon Barkley's departure to the Eagles was a gut punch to Giants fans. After 2 summers of failed contract negotiations, the front office allowed their star running back to walk in free agency. While the decision was framed as a necessary cap move, it's clear now that Barkley's absence has left a massive void in the offense. The impact on the offense. Barkley's production with the Eagles has been nothing short of phenomenal. He's leading the league in rushing yards and is on pace to break records. Meanwhile, the Giants' running game has struggled mightily, with rookie Tyrone Tracy Jr. showing promise but failing to replicate Barkley's explosive impact. This loss has also hurt the passing game, as defenses no longer have to account for Barkley's dual-threat abilities. Beyond his on-field contributions, Barkley was a locker room leader. His departure created a ripple effect, shaking team morale and raising questions about the Giants' commitment to their players. In hindsight, retaining Barkley might have been the smarter move even at a steep cost. Depth and decision-making. Injuries are part of football, but the Giants' lack of depth in critical areas has been exposed this season. The defensive interior, once a strength, has been decimated by injuries. With Dexter Lawrence sidelined, opposing teams have had a field day running the ball. The secondary, another area of focus in the draft, has also struggled due to a lack of experienced backups. The Giants invested heavily in their offensive line during the offseason, but injuries and underperformance have plagued the unit. Despite early signs of improvement, the line has regressed, leaving the quarterbacks under constant pressure. This has further compounded the team's offensive woes. The Giants' depth issues underscore the importance of building a balanced roster. As the team heads into another offseason, addressing these gaps will be crucial. Fans can only hope that the lessons from this season translate into smarter decisions moving forward. As the Giants' disastrous season nears its end, one thing is clear. Changes are coming. Whether it's in the front office, coaching staff, or roster, the team must make bold moves to regain its footing. For fans, this season has been a tough pill to swallow. The hope remains. With a high draft pick and valuable lessons learned, the Giants have an opportunity to turn things around. Before we wrap up, let us know in the comments. What changes do you think the Giants need to make? Don't forget to like this video, share it with your fellow fans, and hit that subscribe button. Together, we can build a community that keeps Giants news alive and thriving. Go Giants!